we're going to do a bit of a group switch up.
Yeah, slight detour. We're going to see Santi versus Ecans. Interesting.
Yeah, both of these players in Group A. But we're doing a bit of scheduling. So we're trying to make sure these guys can face each other. Both Ecans and Santi are very good. Santi was in the Tetris Effect World Championship a few months ago, hosted by Enhance in the seasonals. So we definitely have seen Santi's performance quite a bit in the past.
For sure. And Santi being the one to qualify through the first tournament for Square One. So
yeah. Santi definitely has what it takes.
Sure. I personally haven't seen Ecans too much in this game. So I actually can't wait to see you.
Yeah, I haven't seen Ecans that much either. However, I do know Ecans is pretty experienced, and after all, they are in this tournament. So, still definitely ready to see some really good performance for both players right now. And it looks like both of them are ready, so we're about to kick off.
One more, and I'll be ready.
All right.
Alright, sorry I had to ward off the spirits of Dormy laughing in the background.
Santi doing 6-3. Ecans. I'm not sure what also looks like a bit of a 6-3, but both players doing a lot of freestyle right off the bat. We are dealing with Phase 1 garbage. Santi doing a very early zone compared to what we saw from OSW and Yuri last match.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Definitely goes to show that there's a change of pace here. Immediate ulti in the first zone, 56 attack. Ecans has no choice but to zone right here. But still manages to get a good amount of efficiency in. Unfortunately, does not have the amount of lines. Gonna have to accept quite a bit of garbage.
Ooh,
in fact, too much garbage. That's a very, very quick round one. Hopefully. Who knows, we might see another 5-minute match here. Santi going with a perfect clear. Ecans with a bit of an interesting misdrop. Still able to rectify it at least somewhat with some good skims and spins.
Now, if I've heard correctly, I'm pretty sure both of these players are very good with SRS knowledge.
Yeah. If I am remembering correctly, I believe Santi was more of a PPT player before Tech. So definitely has experience.
Ecans is responding with an ulti. We didn't get to see their full potential last round with their zone lines, but
yeah, that's
Ecans
right.
Very capable.
Yeah, both players definitely have a lot of good prior experience to the Tech. So,
oh no,
that was a bit of a high stack from Ecans. Santi is able to take that quickly. Yeah, a little bit of overstacking there. Ecans with a TKI. Santi going straight to 6-3. The garbage well worked in his favor. Oh my goodness. Ecans has a bit of a high stack, but it's definitely very clean. We are still in Phase 1. So Ecans definitely has a chance to turn it around.
In a very efficient zone. Ooh,
33 attack in 18 lines. Could have pulled off a perfect clear there.
I don't think the pieces quite lined up, but
Nah.
Definitely had the setup.
Santi sending a very high attack zone there. Ecans has no choice but to zone now. A misdrop towards the end of the zone is going to cost... him. That's unfortunate.
I think that was from that early speed pressure from Santi.
Santi with
TK
3-0. Lots of threes on Santi's side of the board.
Really living up to his name.
Yeah, really living up to Santi. Ecans is fairly low on the board, sending a lot of garbage. Has a very clean well. Able to counteract things Santi's been sending him. Went from a 9-0 to a 5-4. Both players are getting fairly clean boards for zones. Definitely working in their favor. Looked like Santi wanted to try and do something with IRS, but it was just not working out. Moving into phase 2.
Oh, but interesting. Ecans was kind of forced his zone earlier, but had a very big garbage chunk to deal with, but then immediately turned it around to Santi. And playing dead man's only there.
Both players going fairly back and forth in terms of board height. Santi's probably at a bit of a disadvantage, but not by much, as he starts zone and starts to downstack quite a bit.
Cleans it up right away, though.
Right away. There's a bit of a hole in the stack, but that's nothing. It's nothing he can't handle.
And we're not quite into phase 3 yet, but it's gonna be just around the corner.
Yeah, just a few more clears from Santi, and we'll be into phase 3 right now. Now it's time to see. It's time to see how much cheese either player can handle.
Ooh, that zone not going to leave any sort of dent in Santi, so Ecans, we're gonna have to see some quick down stacks. But making it work. But there's also a full zone meter that Santi has.
Very interesting spin clear from Santi. Managed to clean up that board really nicely. Starting zone, has a full zone, doing a lot of upstacking, getting some good efficiency in there. T-spins, Tetrises, everything for efficiency. Getting a 47 attack, that is definitely very good. Ecans trying so badly to save that T-spin triple, manages to get it though. But it's not going to be enough to counteract the rest of the zone damage that Santi has been sending. Goes for another quarter zone. Hopefully this is enough to cancel out the damage that Santi's been sending him. It was, but then Santi sent even more. Just when Ecans was about to get right back up, Santi kicked him back to the ground. That is ruthless. Going into game 5 here, Santi with 4-0. Getting a lead on Ecans. Oh no! A bit of overstacking on Ecans' side, that's just, ugh. You hate to see it.
And then a well-timed spike from Santi. It's gonna be a quick round.
Santi seems to know when to spike and when to not.
And
Ecans trying his best to make sure it doesn't overstack, it seems. Definitely keeping himself lower to the board compared to previous rounds. So it definitely seems like Ecans is trying his best to not overstack and make the same mistakes made previously.
Looks like we got full zones at the same time. Santi gonna fire
starting his.
I think Ecans wants a bit of a cleaner board before they start. There we go.
Bit of a misdrop early on, but that's
Manageable.
okay. Gets a teaspoon single to skim.
And trying to uncover that garbage wall.
It did not quite work. Ecans is going to have to accept a bit of garbage here.
Ooh, but finds a really nice down stack to get out of it.
Alright. Ecans definitely has a fairly clean board. Definitely going to be able to get something out of this zone. However, it was not enough to send a considerable amount of garbage to Santi. Santi starting his zone. Ecans going to try to do as much as he can in a quarter zone. Sends 12 attack, but Santi's probably going to be able to counter that very quickly due to his zone charge.
And sends it to phase 3. That's tough.
Yeah. A garbage spike into into phase 3 is just not very good to deal with. It's gonna be 6-0, match point to Santi. Ecans really has to bounce back here.
Ooh, we got a bit of an ST stack from Santi. Love to see it.
Very interesting. Seems to be playing some score attack. Ecans has a bit of a weird board, but it's definitely manageable.
Well, Santi has a couple misdrops to deal with, but deals with them
Cut copy there.
fairly quickly.
Yeah. Looks like tried to set up for as many lines as possible. Did get the ulti. Not going to send a lot of garbage to Ecans though.
There was a lot of skimming in the zone. It's like emphasizing the T-spins matter. And, like,
lines aren't everything when it comes to zone. You gotta make sure you're still playing as efficiently as possible when you enter.
But that
tends to be a personal mishap for me.
Hey, it happens.
Happens, but sometimes you just really want to see that number hit the 20s.
Oh yeah.
It's definitely huge when it does.
Now we got Santi, another full zone. Getting into it right away.
Santi definitely taking advantage of those full zones, taking advantage of that damage boost.
So a very fast phase 3.
Ecans has a lot of garbage to deal with, has to do a lot of downstacking in order to try to counteract this.
They have a
Still too much cheese for him to handle.
And that's going to be it.
That's going to be the match. Santi taking it with another sweep.
And interesting, we had identical drops per minute at the end there.
Yeah. A lot of sweeps, but those sweeps should not undermine the fact that all of these players are still very capable.
That's for sure.
At playing Tetris really well. Like, all of these players are here for a reason. They worked to get here, and they definitely deserve to be here. It's really hard to see them getting completely swept in the middle of a tournament match. However, that's not the end for Ecans. Ecans still has a chance to face the other two group members in Group A.
And correct me if I'm wrong, I believe Ecans will be on the Team TSD stream later.